Lucky, please, can you help me to type my project? Can you help me to do this one? I'll be like, you have a laptop and you can't do some things like this. All on the interest that sparked my passion. Then in that same second year, I was an assistant ICT head in my campus fellowship. Then also in third year, I became the ICT coordinator of my campus fellowship. We were able to organize some.
Hello, are you still there? Hello, Lucky. Okay, I think some network.
Really been a platform for me to scale up those impact, making impact in the lives of youth.
Great. So nice to meet you, Lucky. Awesome.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, so let's meet you, Dr. Daniel. So we can hear you. We can hear you, Dr. Daniel.
No, you can't.
Me now?
Yeah, we can hear
Yes,
you.
I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. My name is Daniel. I'm a dental surgeon. I used to be in Nigeria about 3 years ago today, but I'm now in the US. I got a scholarship at Cornell University to look at how climate change affects sustainable development, or climate change affects health impact. But it so happens that their major emphasis was more on the sustainability aspect of things. So climate change has impact on sustainability, and sustainability impacts are measured in 17 ways. Is that in the way of hunger, poverty, well-being, which is health. Well-being, which is health. That links three of us together. Basic education, which is fundamental. Sanitation, equity, gender, renewable energy, decent jobs, industrialization or innovation, decrease in consumptions of things.
Yeah.
Climate action, that's what my organization actually does. Land Act, Ocean Act, strong institution, basic stuff, and global partnership and collaboration. Those are the 17 thematic points that we were looking at. So the fellowship was, how can climate change, or how has climate change impacted on this? So, but what really spurred me into looking at the environment, but looking at the climate change aspect of the environment, was when I was selected by the World Medical Association to be part of a representation at the UN Climate Conference, which we call COP. Wow. So I was the first African doctor, Black person, whether America or Africa, to represent the organization, which is 200 years old now, plus. So that was in Marrakesh. I also represented in Germany. Then before I moved over here. So I used to be the National Secretary General of Resident Doctors in the entire country, Nigeria, in 2015 to 2016. I left in 2017. So it's exactly 3 years ago that I left. So I started up now, after the fellowship, I started off an organization. It's now a bit big. It's just 3 years old, but it's registered in the United States. You can Google us up. Where was Team 54? You'll see all what we do. You know, I started small, just like Favor is doing. I started with Wix site. Wix site is a free website, but you know, when you are going to be big, you can't be using a free website. You have to have a more secured platform so that you can link it to payment systems, and then international organizations will take you serious. And just recently, 5 months ago, the UN Secretary General invited me and one other member of my organization to the General Assembly. I met with your president and other presidents. I met with the Liberian president, and we're doing good things in Liberia. I met with your president. I could barely understand what he's saying, but that's not the discussion for today. You know, we all know what the country is. I met with other wonderful people, and then this year, the Secretary General is inviting me back to come and help create content with other ministers of youth across the world, the UN EcoStock meeting. So all the ministers of youth will be coming, and I hope to help develop content. For instance, what Favor is doing, he's developing content that will be used by you, the individual, whether you have skills or whether you don't have skills, but the content that can help you better address some of the issues around. It's better than you tailoring and customizing people. You must do this or you mustn't do that. Not everybody will know how to use laptop, but you'll be surprised that the girl that uses that laptop will meet more politicians who can influence what is happening in your community than you that use the laptop. So how do we create a world where, yes, she cannot use the laptop, but she owns it, but she as a person can be an influencer to other projects that you want. So those are what I do, and that's what has brought me this far. But I also got some admissions, masters, but I deferred them because I'm running a global. I'm going back this year. Thank you.
Oh, interesting.
Okay.
So nice to meet you, Dr. Daniel, and so interesting to know you've been surgeon. Okay, we have someone, she's part of the mentee, and I think we have other persons coming, and I think he's Bamia from USA as well. So if you're joining us, welcome. We're doing an introduction. We want to know ourselves. So please, we'll have you to talk, introduce yourself so we can get to know you. You can unmute and introduce yourself. Thank you. Let's take over to you, Bamia. Okay. Yeah, you have the floor. Bamia, you have the floor. Okay.
Hello, Khadija. I don't know whether she.
Okay. Okay.
Still,
So
I don't think it's network.
okay. So the network. Okay. So Oyino Jesu, can
How am I?
over to you. Oyino Jesu, over to you. We'll come back to you, Brahma. Okay, for the network and stand down.
Hello.
Yeah, over to you. Can you introduce yourself?
Sorry, I joined the meeting quite late, so I don't know what I should talk about, please.
Okay, so we getting to know ourselves. We posted the agenda on the group. We want to introduce ourselves and get to know what we do, and so we can network and get to interact after this meeting. The meeting is being recorded, so let's
Okay.
now send that.
Okay. I'm Uyi Nonijesu Victor Gay. I'm a pharmacy student at the University of Benin. I also volunteer with Web for the Africa. Basically, right now as a welfare team member, so that we can keep our communications open and can kind of get to know one another on the platform. And we just started our academy, so my work involves around getting the students on the academy up to speed about what's going on behind the scenes and all that. That's basically what I'm doing at the moment.
Oh, interesting. So nice, and getting to meet you. You're working on several projects. Nice.
Yes.
In the day too. So let's go back quickly. So Brahma, are you set? Let's get to know you. Brahma, you have the floor.
Khadija, put on your phone is off. Put on your microphone. Your microphone is off.
Can you put off your microphone, Lucky? Okay.
Her mic is off, so even if she's speaking, we will not hear. She can also type on the chat. You can type and send her a message on the chat too. Khadijat, your mic
Grandma, your mic is off, so we can't hear you.
off.
The mic is off, so you need to, okay, it's on now. Okay, so you can talk.
Oh no. Okay.
Can you go ahead? Introduce yourself. Hello? Okay, probably network problem or something. Okay, so use the chat and for introduction, and let's see if we can use the chat box for introduction henceforth. Okay, for other persons joining, because of the timing we have, we use the chat box for introduction. So let's go straight to the next thing on the outline. We After introduction, we want to get an overview of the program. We did a program, West African Mentorship Firm Institute program, in the past couple of weeks, and it's been really taxing for both ends, both the mentors and also the mentees. So I understand that there are several challenges, but I know we have some input, we have something to say, we have something to put in, so the next course that can make it better. So it's just feedback. So I want to review the program. Okay, since we have wanted more mentees to be present, or even if we don't have much here currently, so I think everybody can just speak. Okay, so the topic, the agenda on ground now is review of each topic. Okay, so the topics we had, what areas, what topic particularly was interesting to you? What do you think we can bring on board? Okay, what do you think we do better? What do you think we can do better? Okay, so contributions. So if you have something on any of the topics we did or generally on the program, then I think you can contribute so that we can know how better we can do it next time. Okay. Yes.
Yes.
Can we start?
From my own personal view, looking at from outside, because I've not been very participatory. This is my first encounter, but from what I have seen on the WhatsApp group, I think you guys are doing wonderfully well. And where the challenge is often is all this communication challenge, the timing zone, and getting mentors to add value. But do you have the content required to make lives better? Yes. But one thing that I believe you did not factor in is all this wonderful content you are for environments that are progressive. It's not environments that want to take everything out of you. I will explain. For those of us in sciences, we know that no matter who you are, no matter how a particle is also influenced by the environment. If you put two reactions together on Earth, those reactions can add together to become a product or will not even react at all. But there are factors that can make it continue on that path, make it spontaneous, or make it irreversible. If those factors are not put in the reaction, the end product will not always end well. So that's one thing I've noticed in many wonderful programs with my experience across the world, that ideas are very good, but if it doesn't take in consideration the peculiarity of that region, if it doesn't take in consideration the goals and aspirations of those individuals, whether their goal of joining the program is to make money or is to gain something or is just to while away time, if it doesn't take consideration of all those, no matter how good those ideas are, it will fail. So let's get that one fine. So I don't need to come to America to make America great. America is already great already because there are structures to identify people that are exceptional. You don't need to know president or no, whether president is your party or no, it doesn't matter. I'll give you an example. So NASA, I'm working with NASA now to develop an app that can help build resilience on climate change. Now, I am not an American. Yes, I have a visa to keep me here legally. I am not an American citizen. I've never voted in my life for anybody. I do not even join any of the political party system. But there are structures and institutions at the university level, at the county level is local government level, at the state level, at the national level. There are so many of all those things there targeted at innovative concepts, new ideas, new this. So for you now, Favor, this is a new idea that is not very common in the space of Nigeria, but there are no institutions to attract them and say, what if we add and inject this to you? What if we do this to you? What if we give you a platform? Instead of you doing like this, we create an app for you people to meet and discuss. And that app can FaceTime like we are doing now in real time. So that's where the issue, that's why it appears as if not too many people are on board. But let me give you something that can trigger this stuff. Tell them that there's an opportunity for you to appear at the United Nations. I am telling you, they will share this 100 times to other people that are outside this stuff. So it means that there has to be an incentive, or there has to be an environment that has to be created for every of the goals and aspirations that any organization, it's not only you, wants to do. Once those incentives captures the aspiration and the mindset of the people with their talent and their passion, for those that are passionate, not everybody will have the same level of passion, things will go on fine. So the major challenge is, how do we get that environment that you want to create to meet the aspiration of every individual, since many of us have different prevailing stuff. That's my own. So the agenda is good, the motive and the objective is good. It's how do we create those extra factors that can incentivize people to now reduplicate what you are doing across the world in their own respective place. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Daniel.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. I'll just a remark that I want to say that everybody that is partaking in this program, the goal beyond this point forward is to ensure that somehow we have a post-event plan for them. And that's why we want to work or partner with strong forces that can influence or assist them, not just with powerful endorsement or recommendation, but also with career support, mentorship, and and the like. For example, I'll give an example. Most of us in Nigeria, especially students, have found out that most of the innovative ideas comes most times from the university. And if you want to apply for this innovative program that you see other people from other parts of the world applying for, but you see part of the requirement, they ask for recommendation letters. And you go to your HOD and they don't understand what you are saying. And they just bounce you, they don't understand what exactly, they don't even know the value of what you're talking about. And even when they even give you the letter, the truth is that the letter is not even as powerful. You're submitting the letter from your HOD. Somebody else from the United States submitting the letter, directly from the United Nations headquarters. There's no way they'll select you. There's no way they will select you. It's from your HOD.
Or he gets from his senator. It doesn't even need to be. He gets from his senator or from his governor. Exactly. Directly.
So so we want to network with some forces that are very powerful, so that we can provide sustainable solutions to help these people beyond the program. There are some people that their goal is to get internship opportunity abroad, right? And many of them are not aware of this program, of this internship opportunity. If they can get access to this internship opportunity, all expense paid internship at the United Nations, Academic Impact, or many of these programs like that, which are accessible to people in developing countries, right? So they can easily send down the ladder and say, there is opportunity ongoing. I think mentees in this group, you people will need this, right? So they get, these are some things that mentees can benefit from in real time. So that's what we intend to do. Then hopefully when we get out, of course, I won't remain like this. I hope someday to start something big and start funding things in real time. So hopefully we'll be able to even sponsor people abroad, put some people on scholarships and stuff like that. For example, I met the lady that challenged me. Okay, I met the lady not too long, and the lady told me that she's an orphan. Okay, she's an orphan, and she literally when I saw her, she lost one of her foot. She couldn't walk well. She's struggling in school. She's suffering. She's an orphan. People like that, they need motivation. They need assistance. So if those people are brought into this programs like this, we will not just take them through the program and then abandon them and just let them go back to the streets and start begging. If we have a post-invent sustainable plan for them, they can get into some of those internships, they can get into some of these programs, and their life entirely turns around and they become the hero of their community, right? So that's what we need to do for with every mentee as the program gets to an end. And of course we have an alumni group that we created. So everybody that passes through this program is added to that alumni group. So whenever we want to remember to help people, there's a group that we can always fetch them out from. So that's the plan. So I don't know. Thank you, Doctor, once again, Dr. Daniel, for that feedback. I don't know if some of us we have feedback for the program. The program we're talking about the Western Government program called which I just concluded, or that we're just concluding. What do you think we can do better? What is happening with the program? What solutions do you think we can improve? We're about to wrap up this session in 10 minutes, 15 minutes at most will be done. Feedback. Anybody? I think we would like you to share your experience because I think obviously I just see that you are one of the mentees in the program. So let's hear from you. How's it been for you? I found that many of you are having challenges with the website. So what can we do to make it better? Is she still with us? When the Jesu has gone, she's no longer with us today. Okay. I think maybe network or she's off. We have just 4%. Okay, so guys, if there's no feedback from that end, thank you. Let's see if we can go to the next thing on the outline quickly. So we're starting to run up in the next couple of minutes. So I want to greatly commend you, Dr. Daniel, for that feedback. For wisdom, and I'll try our best to implement that. Okay, so from the outline, the next thing we talk about will be words. Talk about the challenges. Talk about people who want to get words from our mentors. Words from our mentors. Then before I give final remarks, I'm close. So, what words do you have for us as an advice, as an organization, as an individual? What do you think lasting words that can keep on striving, continue the change that we started, and not get discouraged? It's not easy as a young person to lead changes like this. It's really not easy, but I strongly believe that consistency is the hallmark of everything. Consistency. Once you're consistent, it doesn't matter. I don't care the kind of mistake. I've always said this and I will always say, I don't care the mistakes I make. Yes, I don't care. I can make 1,000 mistakes in this, but I know that we are making progress and we'll get there. Certainly we'll get there. So yeah, feedback. Lucky you are on the mentors group as well. Daniel, you're on mentors group as well. So let's get feedback from you. Let's have a Lucky this time. I'll just mute myself. So Lucky, let's hear from you. Lucky, let's hear from you. Okay. Are you set? Okay, please can you go ahead? Yes, your advice for the program, your last word for the program for us. Last word. And I can hear you. I'm not sure I can hear you, Lucky. So would you know just to please can you mute your let me mute you from my end. Okay. Let me okay, so you can hear Lucky clearly. Sorry, am I the only one not hearing anything? I want to be sure. Am I the only one not hearing anything? I can't hear anything at all.
I'm not hearing too. I'm
Um,
not hearing.
I can't hear anything. So, Lucky, I can't hear you. We can't hear you. Lucky, we can't hear you at all. We're in the J2. We will soon wrap up this session. So, welcome back. And I'm glad to see you came back here. Welcome back. So, Lucky, over to you. We can't hear you at all. I think you need to remove your earpiece. Move your earpiece. Just use the device directly. Don't use the earpiece anymore. Try to use the earpiece, okay?
Remove the earpiece from the laptop.
Yes,
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Good. You can go ahead.
Okay. I said for now, in this phase, we may not have hit it perfectly. Like, there might be some challenges, may have encountered some challenges, but I think to me, the mentors have really done some like some mentors were very active. We can do and we can improve in the next cohort, in the curriculum, in the way the curriculum will be delivered to the mentees. We can actually improve on this, the communication aspect for the next cohort. But to me, I believe this cohort we actually we did very good work. We may not have hit it perfectly as I've said earlier on, but to me, I trust in that we did something very nice. And I really commend the effort of Favor Hile for this phase. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lucky. Nice to hear from you. Thanks for the encouragement. We'll get there. I can guarantee you. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll get there. I trusting, and I always I always say positive words like this because I know how busy it is for me in final year, but I struggle to still apply for some opportunities. Like I'm struggling to still apply for grants this way. So once we hit one grant now, everything will change. Certainly. Yeah.
That's
so
true.
everything will change. Okay. So we use this to welcome. Let's hear from Dan. Okay, Dr. Daniel, you can go ahead. Sorry.
Yes. No, Daniel is okay. So Favor and Lucky, let me tell you one way that you can always succeed, because there's something that the ones that came before us did not do.
Yes,
The
sir.
people that came before me and you always remove the ladder before me and you arrive. And that's why all the ladders in Nigeria has been removed, and most of the very smart people are out of the country. No disrespect to you, you are smart, but your priorities now are even more harder to get out of the country than it was 10, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So the truth of the matter is that if you must succeed in a chaotic Nigeria, you must create content. You must create products. You must target products that people will want to get. So the question is, how do we make what we are doing now a product? First, who are you targeting? So are you saying now that this crop of people that you are going to train are going to be wonderful ambassadors to address sustainable development goals, depending on the project they want to do? Then when you are putting it in a proposal, you say, we are a Nigerian-based initiative that is targeting young people in Nigeria who do not understand the graphs around sustainable development. So how we are able to do this is to create the content or break down the usefulness of sustainable development goals into their everyday life. Because we are Nigeria and because we are out of the mainstream favor from either government or political stuff, we do not have these fundings. However, in our little way, with the help of WhatsApp, with the help of social media, with the help of internet, with the help of some other platforms, that we are able to pass these informations to them. So what we are now doing is we are about to kickstart our launch of our own project. We want to develop our own online academy where we have content. We do not need to be there. People click on it and then go in, do what they need to do, hoping that when they do that and get that, we'll be able to get funding. So what we want from you is, how do we enrich this content so much as a big organization? What can you do? Because your organization is saddled with helping people start up. How can you enrich this system so that we can be able to domesticate the knowledge from sustainable development goals? So I feel that you and some of the alumni can come together and do a project. That's what I did. When I came into the US, I noticed that people are hypocrites. You know, people don't want to do, if you go to my platform, it's so big. Everybody likes good things. Nobody likes failure. So, but I felt that because there are so many people, it's easy to get people to do. I noticed no. So I now changed that. Okay, what if we as a non-for-profit start to do things?
Yes.
So we now needed to create a service. So what service did we look at? We look at how we started. We started as an online platform. I used to be a Facebook group person and WhatsApp. I never even used it. It was Facebook. Before we now became thousands now. I have platforms I don't even know exist. Team 54 Project, Egypt, Algeria, Morocco, Tonga, Tuvalu, Solomon Island, Ghana, you know, and all those stuff. Team 54 US and Canada, Team 54 Project Europe, you know, so and like that. So you have to start how you got popular. We got popular through Facebook. So it meant that whatever I'm going to do must have an online or an internet kind of stuff as a service.
Yeah.
So I now needed to define what kind of service am I going to do? Will it be a service for the good of all, or will it be a service for my own self? Well, I felt that since I already have a reputation for not being good with business, it has to be for the interest of everyone, so that I can shame people that think that Nigerians are all about collecting. Some of us are not about collecting. Yes, we don't have millions, but it's not about collecting. It's about telling people that there is a crop of people like me and you and Lucky that are different. Lucky just wants to make sense of life. He doesn't want to cheat anybody. He doesn't want to rape any girl. He doesn't want to make any white person, dupe any white person of his money. All he wants is to have steady light, steady internet, you know, have a woman that respects him. That's all he wants. And help his grandma, his grandpa. That's what he wants. That's what every American wants. And you can't tell me that that kind of a person is an evil person. But the problem is that that's what they are making us look like. We are very unserious people. We are people that want to rip off people. People will suffer and sweat. Nigerians just want to take. And it's difficult to erase that stuff. So I decided on my own that I needed to change the narrative. So I now created concepts around this climate change, around the online. I was able to know that online is a way for you to get your messages across. If you develop apps, apps can help. Every person in your village, Lucky, has an iPhone. Whether you like it or forget all those things Nigerians say, you'll be shocked when armed robbers enter a restaurant now. The phones they will pack will be more than the money in the person's pocket. He may not have the money for Facebook and all those stuff all the time, but everybody has a phone. So it means whatever you are going to do as service delivery will be marketable if it has an online stuff, if it is easily accessible on the phone. So I say, okay, since we're into the climate change stuff, since online phone, even in the villages exist, what if we are able to teach people that you can farm better in dry season by using crop resistant crops that can be given to you by the Ministry of Agriculture only if you know that anytime there is flooding in Edo South, that you must always look for the higher elevation. Don't stay where it's go. But with this app, it's able to triangulate because it uses GPS. I didn't make GPS. GPS is already there. It uses GPS to be able to tell you the highest points in Edo South. Then you are able to get out of harm's way because your government will not tell you get out of harm's way. They only come when everybody is dead. Hey, the flooding is too much. There is no access. Hey, hey, hey. That's when they come. Whereas here in America is when I know that you are not supposed to come when the storm has receded. You're supposed to come when that storm is there. They will have given you warning 1 week before time. All schools will have been closed. Everybody will have been safe. You know, so these are some of the things that you need to do. So your cohort, if you are going to make sense of anything, it's good you are looking at grants, but you should also be looking at how can we convert all these things we are doing, put it in a proposal pattern. So somebody reading at the proposal and say, okay, these guys are from developing area. Look at what he has said that makes it developing. It's a struggle to even get internet. That's obviously a failed state. It's a struggle for you to even get funding. Obviously, they have problems. You understand? Then not only that, he's still able with all this minimal stuff, being able to organize people into simple cohorts or simple hub, or he's trying to create an educational hub that targets this sustainable development goal. It means it's going to target non-health, health personnel, even people that are lay person that doesn't even know how to touch the laptop. So imagine now if we can help him incorporate concepts that can support education like STEM, you know, concepts that can support education like economic accountability, you know, through online snapping of pictures of financial budgeting and then tracing it from time to time. People are doing a lot of wonderful jobs. So that's one of the things that, and then we pitch the idea to a competition. So when all these competitions come, like this one, I just sent you the link. If you check on the chat, you'll see the link. So it's a UN-based program. Again, favor is right. You may not be able to even access the link in Nigeria. It may take you 4 days just to print the PDF format. But here it's just in seconds. It's as if the laptop knows I'm going to the website. You know, so these are some of the things that we need to address. So I feel in going forward that one of the ways you can also work to stay afloat is you must be able to look for a common factor. This thing you are doing, how easy can we turn it into a service? By service, how easy can we turn it into something that will say, this is what we are doing? So we are delivering educational hubs to people generally who are out of school. Don't pick too much big people. Look for simple people that you are going to target. We are focusing on people out of school, or we are focusing on people within school that have interest to work out of school. So that when they come out of school, that transition phase of final year is a wonderful time. We are targeting those in their final year in the university because we know within months, less than 10 months, they'll be out of the university system. And when they come out of the university, they're just going to be in the same situation of the people that left 10 years ago. So we are targeting that audience of people. And that audience of people is not 1,000, it's not 2,000, it's not 1 million, it's more than that. But we are just targeting just some particular people. But we are not looking at them only in Nigeria. We are looking at them out of Nigeria. That's the only thing that made me great. It made me great because I did not focus on Nigeria. Focusing on Nigeria would have set me back a lifetime. It is now the Nigerian government that are taking me serious because I never took them serious. So you understand. So always make sure your service delivery is targeted at a more broader regional stuff. So West Africa is good. Do not heap on Nigeria alone because the Nigerian name is bad. I would have gone further than this if I am a Ghanaian or from Botswana. It would have been great. But because I am a Nigerian, I am always seen as a fraudster. He's young, he speaks very fast, he's articulate. All they do is target. That's what used to be 3 years ago. Now it has changed because Maybe now everybody's now seeing this guy is for real. You understand? The UN now has accepted. You understand? And that's why I created, and that's another thing I need to tell you. You must also create an identity for yourself. Be consistent. So if you see me with my red beard, you know that's me. I always have a red cap. I didn't put it. That's him. So don't be here, don't be there, don't be here, don't be there. Even if you are seen in a flashy car, you must be seen in a flashy car with your red bead. Because the white man understands what it is to be consistent and what it means to be the same person. That consistency creates transparency of some sort. So you must be consistent in your goal. You must create this goal to deliver a service. It's now up to you whether you want it to remunerate or not. But that service must be in such a way that you can pitch the idea in competitions, you know, which we did. UN Office of Out of Space picked one of our ideas. The idea I told you about, building an app around climate stuff. You know, NASA got to come to an event and heard me pitching it. And from NASA to UN Office of Out of Space, UN body to UN Department of Global Communication. And that's how everything spread. Then I got to meet ministers. When I get ministers, when I take a picture with you, it means I have discussed with you. I have sat down with you. So I was so happy that one of the ministers heard me speak, came to meet me. You know, I was able to explain to him, just like I'm talking to you. Say, please, this thing is too special. Can you talk to the main minister and can you talk to my president? I laughed. I said, I'm a Nigerian. I said, no, you're a different kind of Nigerian. You want to help. You're not asking for money. You're not asking for anything. That's strange. I said, that's true. I don't need for anything. Don't help your people. I said, that's what made him attracted to me. That I did not talk about Nigeria. I was talking about Liberia, a country I never was in. And he took me to the president of Liberia, George Weah, in New York. So I went to the hotel. I discussed with him. He was just looking at me. Say, you, Liberia? I said, no, no Liberia. Me from Nigeria. Oh, good. Nigeria, Olise, you mentioned all those things. Then the minister started talking. He said the same thing I said. And the president looked at him. Oh, my goodness. You have changed. Why are you talking a bit strange? I like this proposition. He said, it's not my proposition. It's this man's proposition. What? He told you all these good things you just said in just 3 days of coming to New York? He said, yes. And immediately, they started implementing it. And we've been working with the Liberia Youth Ministry. Just 4 months ago, we've been seeing the dividend. The first set of Liberians ever that will be representing the country in an international competition in South Africa. Yes, I linked them up. I agree, but they did all the homework themselves. They will be representing West Africa, of course, along with Nigeria. I'm also working with Nigerians, but these are Nigerians that don't have, for instance, the law students that represented Nigeria at the World Cup on space law and international stuff. I supported them. You know, so my point that I'm making is this. It's very important that you know the secret to sustaining an idea like this that is good. This idea is good. It's unfortunate that you are in Nigeria. If it was here in America, you would have been, oh my goodness, because education is important. And domesticating knowledge to young people is much better and cheaper than allowing them become criminals. Then you'll now be building prisons that you cannot again be able to control. You'll now be needing judges. The reason why you need more judges is that more people are now criminals. That's just the truth.
That's true.
More people are criminals. That's why you need judges. So why not decriminalize a lot of, make sure people are not decriminalized so there'll be no need for judges. You understand? And then the society will get better. Once any society that needs more judges means that evil is prevailing more. Any society that goes to court to settle issues rather than put a human face to how things are means things are bad. So my point I'm saying is that don't say you are wrong. Don't say you have not succeeded. You actually have succeeded. For you to be able to attract me out, you know it's a big thing. You know, so and I've been discussing with you a lot, and you've been seeing some of my content.
Yeah, very well, sir.
You know it's not fake. It's not as if it is fake because I am tagging people. Well, the problem is that if you know the calibers of people that are, some say don't tag me, because once you start to tag them, for instance, if you tag Obama now or former Vice President of America, Mr. Al Gore, if you tag him on your wall, all manners of people now say you are a good guy, but that's not the right kind of people. You don't need to be associated with one superstar for you not to take me serious. So, and I got that concept, but sometimes you just need to tag them for who it is. So you have a good idea, just add small flesh to it. It's an educational hub that we are making, but we want to turn it into an academy, an online academy. By online academy, we want to enrich every global perspective on any of these sustainable development goals. We'll package it as one so that it becomes, for instance, you call it social entrepreneur. So why not have a social entrepreneurial app?
Okay.
An app that fuses all the sustainable development goals, targeting mainly people that are about to leave. So we want to make ambassadors out of these people before they leave and enter the bigger society. And by bigger society, we're not talking about Africa. West Africa is our cohort of sample. 340 million people. 340 million people are in the Western coast. I don't need the whole of Africa. But if we are able to use this app as a pilot scheme, we believe it can be able to do a lot of things for Botswana in East Africa, because we share the same sunlight and the same time zone. So my point is this, is add more flesh to what you are doing and make it more global. So saying that you are an online stuff, it doesn't look global, but saying that you are creating a hub, you see the language, a hub is different from a platform, is different from a website. You are creating a hub. So it means that you are going to bring in more content are coming from everywhere. So imagine we are creating a social entrepreneurial hub targeted at young people. You have to use the right language. Don't say student. Student is limiting. What about those that don't want to go to school?
Very true.
That are more than people that are in school. There are more people that are not in university than people that are in university. So that's why I have problem with the government. The government are not attacking things well. You know, you cannot attack those that are in the university to help them. You cannot now even help those people that are not, that are more. So that's where the dilemma is. That's why you don't know the name of your Minister of Education. Even if you know the name, how has the name got to do with you? What is going on now? All is going on now is security problem. Is this security problem that is the only problem? By the time that one is arrested, these other things will come up. You know, in medicine, there's what they call masking of pain. You understand? If you have a cutlass, if cutlass cut off your thumb and a needle choke your bum, that needle will be the least of your problem. You understand? But that does not mean that that pain from the needle is not there. By the time you now resolve the cutlass cut, which is more deeper, the one in the bum will now start to even become more painful. So that's the kind of problems now. That's the problem we are in the country. So the only option for you is you must create service. Something unique, something must distinguish you from every other person. And it's adding this global language on your grant or your proposal that stands you out. And then hoping and praying like a believer that things will get well. So I'm impressed about you. If you are in Nigeria, if you are in America, you will have done far better than me. And that's why you see, I want to maximize my 3 years. This is 3 years. You know, I am a legal entity already. I'm the only black person on the board in my own organization. The US government have records about us. They've written letter about us. They are impressed, you understand, about us. The UN has recognized us officially. Even for you to register in the UN, even for you to be associated with UN, you must have at least been more than 3 years. And before we even got to 3 years, we're already. You understand? So these are some of the, and another thing is that you must also target influential people. So sometimes your best friends may not just be all these people. You may have to look for a counselor. Anyhow, you're going to do it. You just have to, you understand, look for somebody, you know, close to government that you can liaise with. You know, I don't like Buhari, but I don't like Buhari. He's obviously not going to help the country. And the country is going to get worse. You know, I'm sorry I'm telling you, but I have to tell you the truth. It's going to get worse. It's going to get worse because what we have been depending on the oil is not selling again. That's why you're not surprised you've not heard of OPEC again. But they cannot come out and tell us the true situation of the country, because you favor, you'll be upset, you'll be angry with them that why did you allow me to waste my life here doing dentistry? I would have just gone abroad, gone to Ghana and do the same less the number of years and make sense. You know, Lucky will be upset too, because okay, why did you allow me to graduate with a degree you know fully well I can't help myself with? Even if I can help myself with, You understand? It's not as if we have enough of lucky people. We don't have enough. But because the government has not created that platform, or the environment removes idea and concept. That's why things are like that. I'm a medical person. I'm designing an app that has been recognized by the United Nations as an app that can address a global problem. That's crazy. Just because I'm able to read and amass, it means it's not just about the reading, it is in the person. And the same thing with every one of you. You all are genius. It's the environment that suppresses you from seeing the bigger picture. If I was in Nigeria, you think I'll be thinking about climate change. That's the least of my problem. I don't want to get kidnapped in Port Harcourt. That would be my priority. Even with that, I will not even be able to think that I can design an app that can locate where I am. Or I will design a cloth that can always be trackable. You know, so I'm thinking like this because I'm outside that environment. I'm not thinking of school fees. I'm not thinking of every other things. I know that whatever I do, the services will be paid. You understand? UI, my school is on strike. And nobody is talking. And that's the best university that they are still taking certificates without too much trouble. You understand? How did I know? I want to get a transcript for a master's that is sponsored fully by the Western Washington University. And I can't get that. I can't get that stuff. The school has resumed since. They've still been waiting for me. They will pay for everything. But the reason why they are waiting for me is my transcript. My school is on strike. This is the 3rd week. University of Ibadan is on strike because they are owing people. A section of this, the university, NASU, is on strike. So how do I tell them that the reason why I can't get this is because they didn't pay them? Those are excuses. What do you mean they didn't pay? Because I'm in Nigeria, I've lost more being a Nigerian, you understand, than any other thing. However, because I'm a Nigerian, I've shown people that the Cinderella story can really work. That with hard work and people taking chance on you. Many people took chance on me, not Nigerians. No Nigerian I know took chance on me. They laughed at me. No one, even in the medical profession, they hate me so much because I exposed all of them. They're all cowards. They're just deceiving favor to think that whatever he does. Did you know that no professor of medicine in Nigeria can treat a dog in America? You have to go back to school or you have to write series of exams. Are you aware? And this has been going on since 1974. So why this destiny is in that one pot? It must be this or nothing. That's why you see favor is a social entrepreneur. He's making more impact than a final year dentist. That's the truth. I have touched millions of lives, not being a doctor. That's crazy. You got to know me not because I'm a doctor of favor, but because of other things I've done. That's how life is. Your vulcanizer that will repair your tire tube is a human being. If you like, go and tell him that there's gram positive, gram negative. It means nothing to him. But by the time you reach him and say, it's like you're having some infection. No, I will get a friend of mine that can give you drugs. You'll be okay. Take this. You pay him money for vulcanizer. The next day you come, he can tell you, don't pay, sir. You gave me money for drugs. When you saw my problem, that's how it is. Unless you put a human face, whether it's in practicing of medicine or practicing of humanitarian volunteer, you must put a human face to things. It will not influence and affect that people. So that's the testimony that I think your platform should be able to do. So you lucky as some few people, just sit down and think it through. You understand? And you'll be surprised by the time you pitch these ideas around. I'm very sure one person will say, I like this idea because Nigeria needs help right now. And you people are not government people. Let me work with you. And Favor is right. Once he gets one grant now, his life changes. Because once you get one grant, it will be put on the website. That website will be a link. You can use it to apply for other ones, and then you can move on from there. So that's what is happening. Now, on part of our own organization, we are promising you that we will be able to help you as much as you can. I want Favor to also set up a Zoom link, you know, and do a presentation on our platform. Because our platform has people from all over the world. And some prominent people are there. I can't mention their names. UN officials are there. So see whether if you make this presentation, 45 minutes presentation on the Team 54 Project Facebook platform or the Zoom, we post the Zoom. I don't know, there's a way you can link Zoom to Facebook, but it cannot happen in Nigeria for some reasons. So that's why. Then secondly, because of these immigration changes, again, Nigeria is really in a bad situation. You can't even send, my organization cannot send money to you. I have to do it on an individual level. And when I do it on an individual level, I lose out. If I do it as an organization, I can get tax money for helping, so I can't send money as Team 54 Project to any Nigerian, Eritrean, Tanzania stuff. You are in big trouble. Everything must be spent here in America for America, but I can on my own individual out of pocket remittance. You understand? After I've settled all the tax stuff, out of pocket, say, okay, take. That can be done. But that one will amount to nothing. Nothing, because I have to take care of my wife who is pregnant. I'm expecting a baby in 2 or 3 months' time. My kids, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and thousands of other organization members. I have 100 coordinators.
Oh. Thanks so much. I think to the network, or that should be network. Yes. Thank you for the time. Thank you so much for investment. Thank you so much. I want to really